So we all know that there are a lot of people transitioning to UX writing, and a significant share of them are copywriters. And I know that also a huge share of you, yes, you, my audience, are copywriters. So this video right here is dedicated to all of you wonderful people, because in this video we will discuss how you as copywriters can excel at UX writing and how you can transition to UX writing as copywriters. But spoiler alert, this will also be helpful to all other writers entering UX writing. So let's do this. Hi, my name is Kat and I teach people about writing in tech, and on this channel you will find everything that you need to know, especially about UX writing. So if you want to learn more about all of that, make sure to hit subscribe and ring the bell. Now, I know we have all seen and heard these discussions about the tech industry hitting new lows and UX writing slowly dying out, but let's be serious, UX writing is still hot as ever. And so we see a lot of writers from other disciplines entering the field of UX writing, which is a good thing because it makes our discipline thrive and grow, and it enriches the UX writing community. And our mission as experienced UX writers is to support people in understanding and learning UX writing. And from my UX writing courses, I know that a lot of people entering the field are currently working in copywriting. So I decided to make this video. But as I said in the intro, this video will probably also be helpful to you if you come from other neighboring writing disciplines, like for example, content writing or technical writing. And for a start, let's once again summarize the major differences between copywriting and UX writing, because some people say that UX writing is just copywriting for digital products, which is no, it is not. Now, copywriting can mainly be found in promotional settings like ads and newsletters, but also in the parts of websites that try to sell something or convince the user to buy something. It wants to grab attention, it wants to engage the reader to keep going, to keep reading, to keep interacting with a brand. So the goal of copywriting is to excite, to intrigue, to surprise, to move the reader to try a product or sign up for a newsletter, to test a service, to make a call, or whatever, okay? And therefore copywriting can be loud, it can be provocative, it can be amusing or funny or bold. It can also leave some room for interpretation and make the reader stop, stare, and even wonder. UX writing, on the other hand, is there to guide users through digital products, like for example, apps and websites, smartwatches, whatever. It appears when users have to make a certain decision in their user journey, or when they enter their password, or when an error occurs, or other situations in which users could benefit from verbal guidance. So the main goal of UX writing is helping users to reach their goal when using a digital product. So instead of trying to convince users of something that benefits their own business, UX writers want to support users in completing their user journey as smoothly as possible. And therefore UX writing should be concise, clear, unambiguous, and it should leave absolutely no room for interpretation, okay? Even though you can, of course, add a little dash of humor here and there, but UX copy should never, never, ever trade clarity or even accessibility for a punchline. So we see that there are major differences between UX writing and copywriting in terms of goals and style, but they are both still writing disciplines. And that means that you as a copywriter, you probably bring certain things to the table, things that already make UX writing easier for you. And there also might be other things that may require some learning, some practicing for you. And of course, we start with all the good things, okay? Things that you can take from your copywriting background and put it right on the UX writing table because they are an asset. And the first thing, of course, is that you know that writing is a craft, a job, not something you just do. You've probably developed a systematic approach to writing that helps you write when the right words don't come to your mind intuitively. Also, you can write, so you are good with words. You probably have access to a broad vocabulary and you know how to make good use of it. You probably know how to get to the point fast and how to hit the nail on the head verbally. And of course, this comes in handy for UX writing too. You probably also know how to do research on a certain product, how to get context information from other stakeholders, how to write for a specific target audience, how to understand your target audience's needs, and how to create copy that addresses those needs. So these are the things that will help you in UX writing as well, but there are also things that you might need to catch up on. However, this is actually good news because the things that you might need to catch up on are exactly the things that make UX writing the unique and exciting discipline that it is. And the first thing is, and you can start right off with that, is that you probably need to catch up on UX and usability basics and frameworks. Like for example, the usability heuristics by Nielsen Norman, or UX laws, or the web accessibility guidelines, or just the whole psychology of using digital interfaces. All of this builds the very basis of UX writing, just like any other UX discipline. So if you come from copywriting or any other writing discipline, this is where I recommend to start, and I will definitely put some resources in the video description below that will help you dive a little deeper into this. And along with that comes another aspect I recommend diving into, and that is UX vocabulary. What is a wireframe and what is its purpose? What are breadcrumbs? What is an MVP? What does user-centered design actually mean? What is design thinking? All of this will be very important in order for you to follow conversations with your team and also to understand the tools that you work with and the resources that you engage with. And again, I will put some helpful resources in the video description box so that you get a first idea of important UX terminology. The next thing is learn about how a product team works, because the major difference between copywriters, content writers, etc., and UX writers on the other hand is that UX writers are an integral part of the product team, and that comes with certain rights and with certain responsibilities. You, for example, have the right to participate in meetings, decisions, processes, and creating requirements. But it is also your responsibility to give your team updates on your work, to see how their design works with your copy, to ask for feedback on your content strategy. And all of this may be kind of unfamiliar to you if you come from another writing discipline, because in many other writing disciplines, you write for yourself and then there is a review process, and that's it. But when you write UX copy, you usually work in a highly iterative process within a very tight team setting. The next thing is learn about common tools. Now, before I scripted this video, I asked you if you have any specific questions or points that you want me to cover in this video. And one of the questions that I got was, hey, how important is learning Figma and other UX UI tools for becoming a UX writer? And I can tell you, it is important. It is your bread and butter. Figma is most likely the one tool you will work with on a daily basis. I know it can be intimidating. I was very intimidated by having to learn Figma, and I swear I still haven't figured out each and every feature of it, but I recommend just learning the basics of Figma with the help of a video or a blog post, then get a free account and just play around with it. And once you then really start working as a UX writer, I'm pretty sure you will find your way. You will figure it out. You will Google specific questions. You will ask your design colleagues for help. You will figure this out, okay? Don't worry. And other than Figma, I would say you don't need to learn any specific tools as a preparation for a UX writing job, because the other tools definitely depend on the setting of the specific client or company that you work for. So please, for the love of the Almighty, don't learn working with stuff like Sketch or Photoshop or XD or whatever if you don't for sure know that you will need to work with them, okay? Because trust me, it's probably not worth it if you only do it for fun. And the last thing is learn about content strategy. Content strategy, information architecture, content mapping, all of this is about where to put which kind of information. And here we really see that UX writing is not so much about writing. It is more about planning and designing pieces of information and getting them into the right order and the right place and presenting them in the right way. So these are the things I definitely recommend learning if you come from a copywriting background or any other neighboring writing discipline background. But the question is, where can you get your knowledge from? And this was also a question that I got. Someone asked me, where can I find courses about UX writing? And folks, you know I got you covered, okay? Link to my UX writing courses is in the description box below. And you guys also asked me, where can we practice what we have learned? And for this, I recommend checking out my video about UX writing challenges, because here I explain how you can practice UX writing effectively. And this one I will also put in the description box. Someone also asked, can you explain how I can build a UX writing portfolio? An important question if you want to transition to UX writing. Same thing, I have 2 YouTube videos on that, and if you really want a step-by-step guide, you can also check out my UX writing portfolio online course. I will link all of these resources, you know it, in the description box below. And ultimately, I received a question asking, in one of your videos, you said the bars are high for UX writers. So what can someone who is new to UX writing really do to achieve that height? And this is a really interesting question. It is definitely true, the bars are high, or at least they are higher than they were 5 or 10 years ago. But the opportunities to learn are also better, far better. The awareness of companies of how important UX writing is higher. The number of companies hiring UX writers is higher, and your chances of getting a UX writing job are also higher depending on the country and area you live in. Of course, getting a full-time job might be easier or harder, but fact is that the UX writing industry in the US and Europe is well established. The same is true for the UX community in many Southeast Asian countries. The UX community in some African countries is growing fast. So career changers will always have it a little harder, and sometimes you have to navigate through, the narrow corridors of the job market to ultimately land a UX writing job, and it may take some time. But if you put your mind to it, if you don't give up until you have that job, you will definitely make it. So please stay optimistic, have a good plan, and then shoot your shot. So I think we have found the perfect moment to end this video. How did you like it? Let me know in the comments. Also feel free to share your experience with transitioning to UX writing from another writing discipline. We would all appreciate to learn what helped you here. We all would love to hear your stories, so feel free to share. Also make sure to hit like and subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and TikTok, where I post free tips and tricks about writing in tech and UX writing in particular. And as always, keep on dreaming, folks. Keep on writing. Enjoy the process, and I hope to see you sometime soon.